moment, everybody. Hey, how you doing out there? This is Colin from GamesUnderPressure.com, home of news, reviews, videos, and of course, the Pressure Cast, our weekly video game podcast that posts every single gosh darn Monday. Please rate and subscribe on iTunes, Stitcher, and YouTube. And you're watching yet another episode of The First Hour. This is the show where we take a look at the first hour of a recently released video game. And on this episode, we'll be taking a look at Lords of the Fallen on the PlayStation 4. Bam, bam. So, what can be said about Lords of the Fallen that hasn't already been said? Well, actually a lot, because this is one of those games that really feels a little bit of a sleeper. I mean, I've heard some interesting previews about the game, a lot of comparisons to Dark Souls, and who doesn't want to see a Dark Souls on these current gen consoles? I certainly do! I want me some Dark Souls on these current... Oh my god! That circle in the corner is the exact same as the same... Oh no. Okay. I'm gonna be a brawler. Well, here's something that you don't see in Dark Souls. It's already explaining itself. Let's just go with the generic type that they have already set up, and see how this goes. Alright, it is possible to fight Rykor with bare fists without any armor. It is also greatest mystery why anyone would ever want to do that. The heavier the armor, the better the defense, but all comes to the cost of speed and energy. It is possible to fight... We already read that one. To perform a leaping attack, press R2 while sprinting. Okay, that's not like Dark Souls, because Dark Souls you have to tap forward at the exact same time. Wow, it kind of looks like Darksiders in World of Warcraft.
Fallen God, creator and destroyer of worlds, hear my vow.
Diablo 3, now available on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. It's so hard to make a fantasy game these days. Blizzard owns the territory, you know?
Hear my vow. My vow of defiance.
That was awkward. Naruto! Boom! You kinda knew that was gonna happen. A lot of stuff is happening here. I don't know what any of it means. Game over. Okay, so, yeah. Different time. Different war.
Then our quest for Antanas nears a conclusion. I hope he's worth the price in blood.
I'm seeing a lot of screen tearing. A lot of screen tearing. This game had the opportunity to update. I let it install and all that stuff.
We made it. Let's get to work. It's quiet.
What is wrong with his beard?
Even for a monastery. Hold on.
That's me. Nah, that's not me. See? The game tricked me out. I was being a little know-it-all. This is already much faster than Dark Souls. The first rule of combat is focus. Press R3. You know what's funny? I actually just pressed R3 to see if it would do anything, and it didn't do anything. L1 to block. R1 for a fast hit. Okay. Oh boy. Yeah, that's a little like Dark Souls. The orange bar at the bottom is your energy. Ooh, boy. Yeah, clicking in on L3 allows him to sprint. I think. It's very... Yeah, it's sprint. Alright, hold on. We gotta turn up the brightness on here. That's better. Real quick, I want to check something here. My God. There we go. Better. Good. Come on. Let's go back into the game. Want to make sure everything was good. Wow, that's a lot better. But oh my God, this game has a pretty loosey-goosey frame rate. What am I looking for exactly? Maybe it's behind this door. Well, it's already easier than Dark Souls. You might want to remain quiet. Okay, I will remain quiet. How do I remain quiet? L2 is like a parry, I want to say, or a melee thing. That's cool, you can break all the bookshelves, like Dark Souls. I hate to make the Dark Souls comparisons, but hey. Oh my God! Oh God, you do tap forward and strong attack to do like a leap in the air kind of thing. Wait, why does it keep bringing up stealth? How do I do stealth?
It is changing me, my skull. The bones are moving, growing. It does not feel like poison in my veins, more like liquid darkness. We have seen with others what happens next. Eyesight goes first, then follows sanity. Brother William, Brother Peter and I won't let the disease take us. We will choose death before it chooses us.
Okay, wait a minute. Let's get into the options and look at the controls real quick. It's talking about stealth, but I'm not seeing it. Okay, so there's really no stealth button per se. Okay, so it just, you have to walk like this, I guess. Oh, I'm out of health. Well. Oh boy. Look at this frame rate, and look at all the screen tearing. Come on! What's going on here, guys? My issue with that is because they didn't need to ship, or maybe they did need to ship, maybe this is contracts or whatever. But I would just like to kindly point out that this is one of the busiest holiday seasons I've seen, especially with known franchises. And I would maybe recommend not releasing until you've got a decent frame rate. I mean, look at this. Unlike Dark Souls, there's no penalty for bumping your sword into a wall or anything. When you have less stamina, you actually don't take off as much damage. That's worth noting. I want to try out some more blocking.
These things keep coming. We fight back, but there are too many of them. It's sickening to see them move. Their limbs twist and turn in ways they're not supposed to. The smell. It's like fire and death are creeping up your nose. One of the creatures we were fighting spat on us. The saliva hit my eye. It burned, and it burns deeper into me.
The voice acting on these audio logs isn't bad, but that opening cutscene was weird with its voice acting. Alright. Up. Camera doesn't really want me to get a good view of this. So you gotta tap square to look at an item, and then hold square to, use it. Did I find whatever I was looking for? Am I good to go? I don't know. I don't quite understand what the hell's going on. It's locked. Okay, so I didn't find what I was supposed to find. Alright. Well, now that all the monsters are dead, I guess it'll be easier to just go and... I don't know. General combat seems fine. All seems fine. You know, like it works. I can figure out what the hell I'm doing, you know. Camera angle seemed a bit weird when that guy was on the stairs, though. I seemed to have some issues focusing on him and giving me an angle to which I could actually, like, observe him better. There's some pretty significant pop-in. More screen tearing. Alright. Well, I got the key, so that should be good. Right? Alright. Let's run back up. And get over to where that locked door is. Doesn't seem to be really any punishment for running out of stamina per se, which is fine by me. They're just going for something a bit different. That looks really good, doesn't it? That's a pretty cool screenshot. That'll probably be the intro to the video or something, the main image. Frame rate just took a nosedive. So, Sauron? Whoa, boy. Oh, God. Crud. Seems to be following a rather specific pattern. Hey, wait a minute. Why didn't that count? Hey, I was blocking that. Oh, so he can just hit me from any angle and he'll just take off a bazillion health and I try and hit him from when he's open? Alright, whatever. I want to see what happens when you die. I want to know if it's just like Dark Souls or whatever the fuck they're gonna go with. Alright. If you want to reclaim your... what you lost when you were killed... Are you just gonna be Dark Souls? Is that all you want to be, is Dark Souls? Do you realize what you're going up against by trying to be Dark Souls? Do you realize what you're doing? Alright. I don't think that's where I died, but okay. Okay. Yeah, of course. I cannot tell why that took off 28 energy and the other one took off 3. Can you tell me that? Your stupid shield was up both times. Stiff ass game. Good God. What is this? Yeah, I played Dark Souls. I love Dark Souls, Lords of Fallen. Hey, do you have maybe some DLC bonus where you just download Dark Souls? Look at that circle. That's exactly from Dark Souls. What are you doing? Why are you ripping off one of the most original games of the past 10 years? It's so noticeable. It's painfully obvious. I mean, be yourself, for God's sakes. It won't come off as a good comparison. It won't. You're talking about one of the best games of the last generation. And your frame rate sucks. Yeah, I deserve that. Why did I only get 3 energy lost on that one? Like, I don't understand it. Yeah, whatever you do, don't lock onto the enemy. Oh, sure. Yeah, why did it only take off 3 energy? Why does that only take off 3 energy? Why is that only taking off 3 energy? Because my shield is in the back? Look, when I punch this dude in the back, Watch. Oh, I guess not. Okay. Okay. Okay, whatever, dude. I feel like I'm playing against a dumb boss, you know? It's just another dumb boss in a dumb video game. Nothing is going on here. Like, what is going on? I mean, they know that Dark Souls 2 DLC is coming, right? Oh, now he's gonna be super powerful. Alright, whatever. That reminds me of another game called Dark Souls! Okay. Alright. What? Whoa! 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 No, 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 no. Your animation just involved you sliding on the floor. I'm not so sure about this game, guys. It seems like a bad imitator. Okay.
What was that? One of those lords Caslow keeps talking about.
The experience you earn for defeating the enemy remains with you until you decide to store it or die. The more you carry, the higher rewards drop from falling. Still, if you don't want to lose what you currently have, bake it in the save shards like this one. It prevents loss upon death, but also resets your drop rate modifier. Okay, that's an interesting idea. I'll give them that. Storing the experience at save shards gets you the attribute and spell points. Hold L2 to store experience towards spells, R2 to store towards attributes. You can do it by opening the character development screen. Okay. I don't understand. I wanna... I do want to upgrade it to R2 from the screen. Okay. Yeesh. So you can just restore your health and magic whenever. Alright. That's kind of an interesting idea. I think Dark Souls kind of works the same way. It just doesn't tell you explicitly. But the whole, I don't know, L2 or R2, I'm trying to give this game something positive to say about it, alright? I'm just not a huge fan of ripoffs.
Damn it.
Uh-huh. Yep. Backstabbing's Dark Souls style. Is this the front of it or the back of it? I can't even tell.
Soon after banishing the god, the three men that were known as the Judges parted ways forever. Apart from their common goal, they were different in every possible way. 3 statues were built for them on the square of the Judges, displaying the distinct paths they had taken. These statues hold a secret, as if it were their heart, but it is retained by the stone. Only the Shard of Heroes could make that heart beat, and only an unearthly force could tear it out.
Alright, hey, alright. Got some new equipment. Alright. It's not as good as my equipment. I guess leave? Okay. Okay. I mean, I think if you never played Dark Souls before, this game might come off as, like, something slightly more interesting. Like, slightly. You know? But you played Dark Souls, it's all very familiar, but kind of loosey-goosey. You know. Oh boy, that frame rate didn't do so hot. Okay. God, there's so much screen tearing. And popping. Yeah, that block attack makes this game pretty goddamn easy. Not block attack, you know what I'm saying, block in general. Like, look at this guy. Let's go, this guy. I'm not saying Dark Souls is perfect by any mean, but it's damn original. Let's see if I can try out this new axe. Alright, great axe. Let's do this. Okay? You were over encumbered. Okay, I can't use that. No. There we go. Well, let's just run up here and get some more health. Why not? Nothing wrong with that. The game wants to be a little easier than Dark Souls. That's fine, you know? More accessible version of Dark Souls. I think it's what they're going for here. And I guess that's an idea worth examining. Because it basically breaks down and asks what is good about Dark Souls. Is it that it's so secretive? Or would the game be, maybe not exactly the same, but also very good if they'd explain their mechanics better? However, the combat here just doesn't feel quite as good. The graphics aren't quite that good either. Like, that fire effect over there looks pretty raw. But everything else, yeah, it looks like an up-res PlayStation 3 type game. Screen tearing sure doesn't help it in any way.
You. Help me. Please.
What happened to your hand?
Spider venom. It burns like Adair himself touched it.
Rip the wound and suck the poison out.
Too late. It's already spread.
There's only one way to stop the venom. Separate the poisoned limb from the body.
You want me to cut my arm off? You're a madman.
You'll see the judges soon then.
I can't. I won't. It's...
Oh, there's some pop in. Well, I'll do it.
All right. On your head be it.
Thank you. I owe my life to you, stranger. Wait. You're not one of the monastics. Who are you, marked one?
A gift from the court. A reminder of my sins.
Please. Put the axe down now.
You need someone to patch you up. You won't hold long in this state.
I am the healer monk here. And yes, I see the irony of my situation.
You must have supplies.
I do. They're in the laboratory. But the place is full of Rogar beasts. It's no use. I won't make it there in this condition.
Here, take this one.
That was interesting. You don't see that kind of stuff in Dark Souls. You see it in Dragon Age. But still, I mean, credit where credit is due. So these spider creatures are poisonous, so I better watch out. So I don't have to cut my arm off. Or whatever the hell just happened. Rip the wound. Hi, camera. We gonna party tonight, camera? Or are you gonna be all difficult? I mean, it's so obvious they're trying to duplicate the skeletons from Dark Souls with their flaring wild attacks. It's just awkward, man. It's just awkward! I am positive this game will find a fan base, because all dumb fantasy games find a fan base. Okay? Not saying the game is dumb. I'm just saying all fantasy games, including dumb ones, find fan bases. No matter how bad the lore. It's like anime. There's always somebody that loves that dumb anime. That anime that's no good. And even like hardcore anime fans are like, that show sucks. Is there really nothing for me to do here? Huh. I'm not sure how I found this, but okay. What? You douchebag. Shooting arrows at me.
Anybody here?
No. Okay. What the fuck? I was pressing R2 over and over and over again, and it wasn't doing anything. Open the chest, who cares? Yeah, great. Eh. Eh. It's locked.
Ninth night on watch. How could the Rogar get inside the sacred walls of Keystone? They appeared out of nowhere. The graveyard is swarming with them. I need to alert the others.
I'm not even gonna let my stamina go back up. I'm just gonna keep smacking this thing. Why not? No consequence. I mean, it's not bad. It's just kind of like, you know, I can't help it. I have to compare it to something I already played before because it's so obvious that's exactly what they want to go for. I don't know if there's an online system here, but I bet you I can tell you how it works. Yeah. Alright. I mean, it's just a case of like, when it's trying so hard to be a game, one game, or a series of games that are very original, it's hard to not be disappointed when it fails at some of the similarities. When it's not similar enough. Okay, what?
As if one wasn't enough.
What? I keep pressing buttons and nothing happens. It's kind of amazing. Kind of amazing. Okay? Okay, I don't want to use your stupid gauntlet. I don't want to use the gauntlet. Alright, alright. How do I turn off the gauntlet? I guess you can't. Okay. Okay. So I can't use my shield because I'm in gauntlet mode. How do I turn off gauntlet mode? Can I just turn off the gauntlet? Can I just have my shield back? I'm holding down triangle or whatever the hell. And now I can just have my shield back. Good. Thank you very much. Oh, and I have to start all the way back from the beginning with all the enemies back again. Because Dark Souls does that! And if Dark Souls does that, that's all we got going on! Wow, I can't wait to see the design document for this game. Was it just a freaking copy of Dark Souls and a Crayola pack? Have some originality, for God's sakes. I better just keep hitting them. Well, if Dark Souls is such a good game and this is so much like Dark Souls, it must also be good in some ways, right? That would not be true. There seems to be a deep desire to duplicate that game, but it doesn't quite feel right. And the reason Dark Souls feels good is because it was designed from the ground up to be a certain way. It's, you know, it reminds you of those bands of the 60s. Backstab. That were trying to, like, rip off the Beatles, you know? And all their songs would be like, it's not that good. Because you knew deep down it wasn't them. You knew deep down it wasn't coming from the heart, you know? It was coming from, I don't know, a voyeuristic ambition. I mean, you could play this game, that's fine. You could play it and probably have an okay time and maybe, I don't know. But I am not okay. I mean, if I was to review this game, which I'm not reviewing this game. If I was to review this game, I would, I wouldn't bring up Dark Souls that much. I would reference it. But I'd have to take the game on its own accord, you know? But I'm not reviewing it. So I'm gonna go off on this. This is shameful, shameful ripoff. I don't know, maybe if I was reviewing this, I would have to bring it up, because it's so obvious. Oh, sure, backstab shouldn't work then. I mean, this game just feels infinitely cheaper. I don't mean like cheap deaths and yeah. No, that's not what I mean. I mean, let me turn on Gauntlet mode again so that this game can show me what Gauntlet mode is. Because so far, that's the most original thing it's got.
Where is it?
Where is what?
Back off. This doesn't concern you.
Whatever you want. You won't get an answer from a dead man.
Seems it's your lucky day, altar boy.
What was that about?
They're liars and worse besides. Not only did they steal my family valuables, but
Very
stole
weird.
away the pathway.
Pathway.
A door to places otherwise unreachable. Places that hold secrets. And secrets hold power.
Why are you so sure it's still here?
It's in the Book of Lineage. And the book does not lie.
You sure those friars stole from you? I've always taken them for bookworms, not lifters.
Don't be a fool. The men in here are just as twisted and corrupt as the people outside. They've bled the villagers dry over the years. They think people forget that the truth gets buried with the bodies they helped create. But they're wrong. I know what they did.
This is a monastery. No women allowed.
No criminals allowed either. But here you are. If it's to be an inquisition, tell me about that constellation on your ugly face. I thought not. Let's both keep our secrets.
I must go.
Suit yourself.
Alright, so the character animation and the voice acting didn't really work together in that scene, but I do want to point out that this game appears to have somewhat of an interesting lore. I mean, the more people are talking about the judges and stuff like that, I'm into it. That's okay. That's actually an interesting idea. I mean, it sounds like kind of a cool book. Not a Dark Souls ripoff. Alright.
Watch out. There are some freaks on your side of the gate.
The gauntlet idea is not bad. The AI is very bad. But the idea of shooting stuff out of, you know, kind of like how Bloodborne's gonna be, you know, that's kind of original. That's kind of cool. Okay. Whatever, dude. Okay. Oh. Hi. It's almost like I just didn't backstab this dude. Why is he still alive? This game reminds me of when you would like go to newgrounds.com back in the day and you'd see some game that was like, oh, I remade Metal Slug, or I remade Sonic the Hedgehog. It didn't really feel as good. That's kind of how this feels. Alright. Let's do it. So, Dark Souls, huh? I don't get it, guys. I just don't get it. It looks like a lot of work went into this game, and all you wanted to do was be somebody else. I mean, don't get me wrong, there are lots of people that are duplicating ideas. And that's not a bad thing. We should learn from other games. But we shouldn't remake them. Especially when they came out very recently. Ugh. getting hurt sometimes. If it's because shit's falling from the sky, I'm not seeing myself getting hit. Oh boy. Yeah, if you don't lock onto the enemies, they're like nothing to beat. Like, they're like moving in slow motion. Whatever, man. Alrighty, that's gonna do it for this episode of the first hour. This has been Dark Souls -5 on the PlayStation 4. You can't just be a game that already came out. You've got to be yourself. You have to have that confidence to risk new ideas. Otherwise, whether you like it or not, you're a cash-in. You're borrowing. Your credibility is entirely dependent on your ability to duplicate, not and replicate, more importantly, instead of invent. That's not good. That's not a place you want to be in, because no matter what you do, you'll always be stuck in that comparison. Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, it was both 2D games, and they fought against each other, but one had a block button, one had fatalities, one had teleportations, and very different moves than Street Fighter. But when you saw things like World Heroes or Time Killers, inherently you knew Street Fighter ripoff, Mortal Kombat ripoff, and yet those two games continue to coexist. The problem with Lords of the Fallen is that it is attempting to take every single element from Dark Souls, from having I mean, let's just be frank here, a medieval type setting. That's already going to kind of hurt you. When you have the exact same idea of how to lock on, of backstabs, of light and heavy attack. These are concepts that exist in plenty of games. But trying to take the exact mechanics, the way they perform in Dark Souls, and apply it to your game? I mean, really, guys, in certain ways, I wouldn't be surprised if this company was sued. Now, of course, they can't be. We've had cases in the past, thanks to Atari in the 80s, about duplicating ideas. But either way, Lords of the Fallen is a bad imitation of one of the greatest games of all time. And a game that came out not too long ago. So, you know, what was it, 2011? Was it when Dark Souls came out? Demon Souls in 2009? Very recent. Especially when Dark Souls 2 came out earlier this year. And while I was not a huge fan of Dark Souls 2, I can at least recognize that there is a passion, there's a thought behind all of this. This is not thinking. This is mimicking a better game. It's rather unfortunate, as it looks like the team put a lot of work into this. So, that's going to do it for this episode of the first hour. Please go to GamesUnderPressure.com and check out more of our videos on the first hour. You can check out Sunset Overdrive NBA Live, that new Turtles game. Evil Within, Pac-Man: The Ghostly Adventures, Bayonetta 2, anything. Shadow Warrior, Samurai Warriors, Hyrule Warriors, Orochi Warriors 3, whatever you want to see. And you can actually watch me play Dark Souls 2. I think it's the first episode of the first hour. It's not a good episode. Real bad. I don't have a decent camera back then. But thank you so much for watching. I will see you for another episode of the first hour.